When we got here, the gates are open, and as soon as we started walking in, we started getting yelled at and told to go back out, and he kept on just being like, and we were like,
so
I don't know what that means. So if you are not into crowds or you get claustrophobic, this is not the place for you. Good morning, guys. We are in Ho Chi Minh City, also known as Saigon, and this is our last stop for Vietnam. This morning we are up super early for two reasons. We're trying to avoid the heat, and then the second reason is that we are trying to avoid this crazy traffic that Ho Chi Minh is known for. It's been absolutely hectic. We've had trouble trying to cross the road. So our idea is that if we're out a little bit earlier than normal, maybe if we are lucky, we will try to avoid some of that major traffic. When we first got to Vietnam, we decided to take a tour with two locals called Daisy and Boo. And we were so obsessed with what they offered us that we tried to get the same thing in Ho Chi Minh. And when we looked at the website, which was the Free Tours Vietnam, they were completely booked until the new year, so in about 10 days. And we're not here then, so we decided, what else can we do? And we searched and we searched and we searched, and we couldn't come up with any free options. And we decided, you know what, let's do it ourselves. So we've done some research based on what there is around the city and a little bit of information, and we decided, why not take you guys along for the ride so that when you come here, you can follow this video and see what the city has to offer. Our first stop is in District 3. It's a little bit out of the main district where everything else will be today, so we did catch a sneaky grab to get here. But the first impression of this place is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad we did it. I'm going to take you around the corner so you can see what it is. It's known as the Pink Church to tourists, and you're gonna see why.
Guess what happened, hey? Our oracle here, who did all the research about the time the church was open, has, I don't know, failed to schedule their floor cleaning into the plans.
So they do open at 5 a.m. When we got here, the gates are open, and as soon as we started walking in, we started getting yelled at and told to go back out, and he kept on just being like, and we were like,
so
I don't know what that means, because obviously you're open and it's past 5 a.m. And a local came up to help us and translated that they are cleaning the floors of the church until 9 a.m. and that we can't get in until 9 a.m. unless you're a local. And so that means we have to move on from the church, otherwise we're going to miss the rest of our day. So a bit sad, but we obviously can show you the beauty from outside the gates. I'm going to head off to the next stop now, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to keep it as a little bit of a surprise. But this one we can walk to. It is in District 1, and it's going to be about a 20-minute walk. So it's up to you on whether you walk or you catch a grab. A grab is going to be about 30,000 dong, so not very much at all. And if you're in the middle of the day, in the heat, I would suggest to grab a grab. But let's go and go to the next place. It's a well-known fact that here in Ho Chi Minh City, the traffic is absolutely crazy. But I just want to point out behind me, this is 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and it's already bumper to bumper. We have just made it to our next stop, which is the Saigon Central Post Office. This building was built in 1891, and it's still a fully functioning post office. It's a very popular place to come, and one of the reasons why we started so early this morning, we wanted to avoid the crowd, and we have managed to do just that. There are only about 30 people here. and we're gonna go and venture inside because it's meant to be just as beautiful inside as it is on the outside. So we're finished here at the post office and we're just gonna jump into our next destination. We are at the Ho Chi Minh Notre Dam Cathedral Basilica, which was built in 1880, and in 1962 the Pope classed it as a basilica. In 2005, the statue that stands here of the Virgin Mary was said to let off one single tear. Because of that, tourists flocked to the area to see the statue, to see if it would happen again. But the government let off a statement to say that it was a fallacy, that it never happened. But even standing here today, there are people that are still coming to see if it will happen again. So there is belief that it did happen, and who really knows, maybe it did. We are now at the Palace of Independence, and this is where the site was that North Vietnam drove tanks through these main front gates. This is where the war was declared over, South Vietnam fell. This is where it all happened. This is something we were really interested in, but I do know that there is a war museum here, so you can do the war museum instead of this if you want, or you can do both. The War Museum is just down the road, so not very far at all, but we're gonna go in here and have a look around. I'll pop the price of the entry tickets down below. I believe it's about 40,000 per adult, but I'm gonna go buy the ticket and I'll put the price below. We have just come out of the palace and we've spent a couple of hours in there learning a little bit about how the war ended. You may be asking why we didn't go to the War Museum, why we didn't have it on our map, and that is purely just because of the age of the girls. We weren't sure how appropriate it would be. We have heard it's a little gory, but do suggest that if you don't know too much about the war and you're really interested into that kind of stuff, to go there first and then come here and find out how it ended for only 40,000 dong, not very much money at all, and it's a good way to waste a couple of hours. And the building inside is actually quite spectacular, so even at the least, if you're into architecture, come and have a look. But we're now heading to our next location, so let's go there. I think that I have just found the cleanest street in Ho Chi Minh, and it just happens to be outside the People's Committee building of Ho Chi Minh. This building was built in 1908, or started being built in 1902 and construction finished being built in 1908. So it's one of the oldest buildings here that still stands in its natural form, and it is a beauty. I've heard that at night it's absolutely spectacular, fully lit with lights, but it's a beautiful building to come and look at. You cannot go inside. It is currently a council building, so general public can't go inside, but it is worth coming to look at purely just for the outside architecture. The second last stop on our itinerary is the Saigon Opera House. I don't know too many facts about this one. I just know it's super close to the People's Committee, and I decided to put it on the stop, but I will put some fun facts below for you. But definitely come and check it out because it is a spectacular building. One of the things we have grown to love while traveling around Vietnam is their markets, and we have left the biggest market for last, the Ben Thành markets. It is the last stop on our tour of Ho Chi Minh, and we left it for last for a reason. We will spend hours here. We plan on getting lunch here, we'll have a look around, and then we will be done for the day. So let's go have a look and I'll show you everything that a Vietnamese market has to offer. So if you are not into crowds or you get claustrophobic, this is not the place for you. It's absolutely hectic in here, and as soon as you walk in, the locals will try to grab you and pull you into any direction to try to get you to purchase whatever they want you to purchase. We've just been looking for a juice and we've been sat down as we've ordered, and we've still got people coming up to us trying to convince us to leave with them, even though we have already ordered with someone else. So I would suggest it's a beautiful place to come and look at, and if you can withstand that, definitely come and visit. But if you're not into that kind of thing, this is not the place for you. Please stay away from here and find somewhere maybe a little more quieter. We have just finished our lunch and I've just collected myself another juice for the day. It is super hot outside and we are absolutely wrecked, but I hope that you love joining us for our trip around Ho Chi Minh. Remember to hit that big thumbs up to show us that you're loving our videos. To subscribe to our channel, hit the subscribe button below because our next video is Ho Chi Minh at Christmas.